Welcome to the F-Bound Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Schroeder, Executive Function Coach. I help neurodivergent women learn tips and strategies to improve the life skills that will help them be successful. Organizing routines for neurodivergent women who hate structure. Organizing your home when you despise routines can feel like trying to solve a puzzle without all the pieces. As a neurodivergent woman, you might struggle with rigid structures that don't really work for how your brain operates. But you don't need to force yourself into someone else's system to create a space that feels manageable and comfortable. With a few practical organizing routines tailored to your needs, you can find methods that fit your life, not the other way around. Understanding your relationship with routines. Routines. Love them or hate them, they're embedded into almost every part of our daily lives. For neurodivergent people, the idea of routines can feel like wearing an outfit that doesn't quite fit. You know it's supposed to make life easier, but it feels like you're constantly tugging and adjusting. To make organizing your home manageable, it's essential to rethink routines and create a system that works for you. Why routines can feel confining. You're not the only one who's ever felt suffocated by the idea of a strict routine. Why do so many neurodivergent people find them difficult? Fear of monotony. The repetition that comes with routines might sound dull when your mind thrives on creativity, spontaneity, or variety. Being boxed in can feel stifling. Rigid structures don't always fit. Everyday routines like waking up at the same time or sticking to a daily cleaning schedule can clash with how your brain functions. There's an expectation to follow the same steps every day, which might just not align with how your energy and focus fluctuate. Past experiences. If you've tried routines before and struggled, it might feel like evidence that they just don't work for you. This can lead to a sense of dread or even self-judgment before you even start. Routines often draw criticism because they're seen as a one-size-fits-all solution, but they don't have to be. Instead of seeing them as a rule book written in stone, consider looking at them as optional guidelines you get to customize. Reframing routines as flexible frameworks. It might help to view routines as scaffolding that supports your goals. Instead of thinking of routines as rigid schedules, try viewing them as flexible frameworks that adapt to your life and energy levels. Here are some ways to shift your perception of routines. 1. Start small. Begin with 1 or 2 flexible habits that are easy to implement. For instance, instead of declaring every Saturday your cleaning day, try focusing on one task, like straightening up your workspace. 2. Think modular. Break your day into blocks or modules instead of rigid hours. For example, having a morning block with general tasks like breakfast and emails rather than saying breakfast must happen at 7:30 a.m. daily. 3. Honor energy fluctuations. Recognize that your energy might vary. Build break time into your day or create backup options for days when completing tasks feel harder. 4. Celebrate flexibility. Not cleaning the bathroom every Tuesday isn't a failure. Instead, it's you listening to your needs. Success looks different for everyone. Research has shown that routines don't have to be inflexible to be effective. They can be a source of strength, not frustration. By reframing routines from something you must do into something you choose to do, you strip away the guilt or frustration that often follows. The key is crafting organizing routines that feel less like limits and more like tools to improve your life. Strategies to organize your home without rigid routines. For neurodivergent women, flexibility and creativity can be key in maintaining a well-organized home. These strategies provide structure without feeling suffocating, making organization more approachable and sustainable. Decluttering in spurts. Starting small can make all the difference. Working in short, focused bursts, like 15 or 20 minutes at a time, can reduce the overwhelm that comes with bigger decluttering sessions. This approach lets you get things done without feeling like you've climbed a mountain of tasks. Think of it like running a series of sprints instead of a marathon. You can tackle a junk drawer today, a few kitchen cabinets tomorrow, and maybe a bookshelf next week. It's about taking manageable bites instead of trying to eat the whole plate at once. Research shows that decluttering boosts clarity and reduces stress levels. Using visual cues to stay organized. Visual tools aren't just for kids. They can make organization simple and intuitive for adults too. Labels, color-coded bins, or even pictures can help you know where things belong at a glance. Are your important papers often misplaced? Use brightly colored file folders or label bins with bold text. Need a reminder of what goes in each drawer? A small photo stuck to the front can do wonders. Visual cues act like mental shortcuts, reducing the need for overwhelming decision-making every time you clean up. The power of timer techniques. Timers can turn tedious tasks into a game. The Pomodoro technique involves setting a timer for 25 minutes to focus on a single task, followed by a 5-minute break. This not only breaks up large tasks into manageable sections, but also gives you permission to stop and rest, avoiding burnout. If 25 minutes seems daunting, start smaller. Even 10 minutes of dedicated effort can result in visible progress, making you feel accomplished. Creating zones within your home. Zones can revolutionize how you look at your space. Instead of a chaotic mix of items everywhere, assigning specific purposes to different areas creates a natural flow. For example, dedicating a corner of the living room solely for crafts or designated a specific shelf in the kitchen for snacks makes it easier to find what you need when you need it. This method doesn't just organize your home, it also reduces decision fatigue. Standing in a crowded space wondering where that one thing should go becomes a thing of the past. Incorporating sensory-friendly solutions. Who says organization has to be boring? Adding sensory-friendly elements can make the process enjoyable and calming. Use soft storage bins that double as cozy decorations or add a hint of lavender to a room where you frequently organize. Tactile materials like smooth boxes or soft linens can make handling items more comforting. These small but practical choices create an environment that matches your personality and sensory preferences. By combining these flexible strategies, you can create systems that don't feel like a chore. Instead of rigid rules, you'll have a home that works with your rhythm, offering harmony and peace rather than stress. Finding motivation when organizing feels overwhelming. When the thought of organizing your space feels like climbing Mount Everest, motivation can seem light years away. The good news is that you don't need a superhero's determination to get started. Instead, by developing small wins, celebrating progress, and leaning on others for support, you can build momentum and make organizing not only manageable, but even empowering. Start small to build momentum. Feeling paralyzed by the sheer magnitude of decluttering or organizing tasks is normal. Instead of diving into the whole room, why not focus on something tiny like one drawer or even just one single corner of a cluttered desk? Accomplishing a small task creates that I did it feeling, which can boost your confidence to tackle the next thing. Baby steps can lead to massive results over time. Think of it as rolling a snowball. With every small push, it grows larger and gains momentum. By reducing the enormity of the task to bite-sized pieces, you remove the initial barrier of overwhelm. Start small and let those little wins add up. Reward yourself for progress. Who says motivation shouldn't be fun? Rewards can be your secret weapon for keeping your organizing momentum alive. It doesn't have to be extravagant. A cup of your favorite tea, an episode of a comfort show, or a few minutes scrolling through TikTok guilt-free can work wonders. Here are some ideas for rewarding yourself. After tidying your desk, treat yourself to a snack. Spend 10 minutes crocheting or enjoying your favorite app after folding laundry. Buy a small item like a cute notebook or plant to celebrate completing a week of consistent organizing. The idea is simple. Remind yourself that progress is worth celebrating. By associating small successes with enjoyable rewards, you create a positive feedback loop. Celebrate every step. It's not about perfection, but progress. Lean on accountability partners. Sometimes sharing the burden makes the load feel lighter. An accountability partner, a supportive friend, a family member, or even an online community can help keep you on track and provide words of encouragement when you feel stuck. Online communities offer countless stories and advice from real people tackling similar challenges. Just knowing someone else has been there can fuel your motivation to keep going. The key is finding people who energize you rather than overwhelm you. Their support can make all the difference when motivation feels out of reach. Sustainable long-term solutions for organization success. Creating sustainable systems is about finding methods that support both day-to-day needs and long-term goals. For neurodivergent women who thrive on adaptability, it's crucial to build organizational strategies that don't rely on rigid rules, but rather flex with your changing energy and focus levels. Let's dive into actionable ideas for maintaining balance, reviewing your systems, and celebrating progress. Balance between structure and flexibility. Think of organization as a dance between structure and freedom. Too much structure can feel like being trapped in a box, while too much flexibility might leave you feeling adrift. The key is to design systems that keep you grounded without stifling your need for spontaneity. Work with your energy. Identify when you feel the most productive or creative and center your organizing efforts around that window. For example, if mornings feel chaotic, create a loose framework like a morning basket for essentials rather than following a strict checklist. Anchor points. Instead of assigning specific times for tasks, focus on anchor points in your day. After breakfast or before bedtime. These natural transitions make it easier to build in organizing habits without feeling tethered to the clock. Incorporate open-ended systems. Use modular tools like baskets, bins, or open shelving that adapt to changing needs. For instance, a basket labeled grab and go can hold everything from keys to mail without requiring frequent micro sorting. Creating balance is about designing a system that supports your life, not one that forces you to conform. Periodic reviews of your systems. What works wonderfully today might feel useless a year down the road. That's okay. Organization isn't static. Regularly assessing and tweaking your strategies ensures they continue to meet your needs. Set a check-in schedule. Pick a comfortable interval, like once every season or after big life events, and evaluate your systems. Are they working? Do they need adjustments? Ask what feels off. If you've started to avoid certain organizing tasks, ask why. Are they too time-consuming? Too complex? Recognizing roadblocks is the first step to removing them. Keep it simple. When assessing, avoid overhauling everything. Focus on one or two areas that feel the most strained and brainstorm small tweaks. For example, if your kitchen zone feels chaotic, maybe it all needs a better spot for weekly groceries. Reviews don't have to feel like a chore. They're an opportunity to realign with systems that serve your lifestyle. Small steps lead to big shifts. By balancing structure and flexibility, revisiting your systems, and giving yourself credit for progress, you're creating organization strategies that are sustainable and affirming. Organizing your home without rigid routines is absolutely possible. The key lies in embracing flexible strategies that suit how you naturally operate. You deserve a space that supports your unique rhythm and needs, one that works for you. Start with just one change today. You'll be surprised how even the smallest step can lead to a calmer, more functional home. How will you take your first step toward crafting your version of organization? I hope you enjoyed this episode of the F-Bomb Podcast. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe below and check out my show notes to learn more about my Facebook group, courses, and membership.